laundry, actually. Oh, it feels nice and warm. I need to finish putting things away from the other day. No. No. You gotta stay awake to finish hanging up laundry. I'm just feeling so sleepy time, tea time. I'm just like, stay awake. Hi. This makes no sense. Yeah, that makes no sense. This is not the topic of the video. This is called cleaning. See, that's why people shouldn't write silly stuff in the comment box. Because they always know when they did something silly. They always know when they did something naughty. You always know the ones that were naughty because you're like, yeah, you made a boo-boo. It's just a cleaning video. It's just like a laundry video. It's not a go off the rails video. So once I have everything that's hung up, just put away and start. I'm gonna kind of organize the hangers down here first. Get some clippy hangers. I like some small hangers. Help out. Some smaller hangers. Thinner hangers. Some clipper hangers. Oh no, I found from mask I washed the other day. I didn't know I'd fallen off. Shoot. I didn't pack it either. Ugh. Now we're gonna start hanging things. Hola. ¿Cómo está? Mi amo is Julia. Yo hablo español muy pequeña. Muy pequeña. Muy. I need to learn. I really do need to learn. I mean, I thought about learning a little bit more Spanish, but honestly, like, I also want to learn Arabic and Turkish, but you have to put in time to speak a language, and that's not a good excuse. But I do like to learn new words in various languages, like all the time. I'm always curious because did you know? Here's a fun thing about English. Did you know English is the most hybridized language of all? Because English is like a mixture of a Germanic, like English used to be more like German, and then you had the French invasion of England in 1066, which changed English, and then also English people, I hate to say it, they kind of colonized, so they went a lot of places and they adopted words from many different languages. So English is the most hybridized language on the planet. It takes from everything. And then Spanish is interesting too, because Spanish is like 10% Arabic because of the Moorish occupation of Spain. So Spanish has some Arabic in it, and then probably like one of the most like pure languages might be some of the Central Asian languages where they're more isolated. You know, some of the Turkic languages where people were more isolated, Icelandic. But a lot of languages change over time. It's interesting. But I'm not a linguist. But I do like languages. No, I'm not. I'm really good. I'm really good at hanging stuff up. And now you're gone. Actually, you know what the best thing about hanging laundry is? Is you take your time and you don't rush. Because it's fun. Hey. Okay. Are you ready for more introverted talk? Okay, let's do some introverted talk time. Not only do I not want to join political groups, because I think that's silly, religious groups. My friend and I, we did deep dive talking about it. Like we went off the deep end and we talked about this the other night. It's especially true with the Christian groups. Like my friend said that she hung out with her friend, and he was talking about how, like, he was super religious, and then I guess she was saying another one of her friends is religious. So I think spirituality is really cool, and I don't know, I can kind of get down with how, and I really respect a lot how Muslims like kind of think about spirituality, like how they go to mosque and they really live their faith. But lately, just lately, and in general, and for a long time, Christians of the American persuasion, all of them really, I don't know, they're too social. It's like they just want to have a group. It's like an us versus them dynamic. And my friend was talking about this. She said, thank you. Thank you. She said, why is it that religious, like people that have to be part of a religion, why do they create this bubble? Why do they say it's us versus them? And I said, very good. So we had an expansive, deep dive conversation about this. Like we went into it deep. And we said, it's one thing if you want to be spiritual, because I believe in God, I really do. I guess I'm nominally Christian, and I've had some interest in like, I don't know. It depends on you. I'm an introvert, so honestly, organized religion is very extroverted. It's for extroverted people that I feel like, unless you're like a Quaker or maybe like a Sufi Muslim, like I like Sufi Islam. I like the ideas of Sufi Islam. I like some Christians that are more just like about the spirituality where they're just doing things to help people and others. But the type of Christians that, I don't know, where they're talking about how they have to belong to this group and they want to interact with people that also belong to the group, and they kind of want to branch themselves off and they only want to interact with people in that group. No, I don't like that kind of organized religion. If you want to like attend church, that's great, but personally, I don't see the point. It's kind of like there's either political groups, organized religions, sports groups. Yeah, introverts don't like it. And my friend's a Buddhist, and I'm like a Christian with some appreciation for Islam. And we just love spirituality, and we love to talk about like broader topics, and we want to approach the world from an encompassing but introverted perspective. Every time I talk to her, it's just so amazing. She's like such an open-minded thinker. I don't know. She's very cool like that. And I just feel like a lot of people, they don't know how to be an independent thinker. And that's the thing I'm not, like, really. Yeah, I'm not into organized religion, and I'll tell you why. Because as a kid, my mom went to this church, and I think I talked about it a few times, the Jehovah's Witnesses, and they were hardcore. And I think that from a young age, it kind of tainted my feelings on organized religion a little bit, because they didn't even have Sunday school. You had to sit there when you were little. Maybe it's different now. I don't know. I haven't been there since I was a kid. But they didn't even have like a Sunday school Bible study. They expected you to sit there. They didn't want the kids to talk. You had to sit there quiet, like in the regular Bible talk. Like the little kids from the time they were babies all the way up, like, and then once you got to be like 7 or 8, we didn't stay in that long. They expected you to start participating, because I think I've done some research, and I think a lot of the kids like become baptized as Jehovah's Witnesses by the time they're 8. That wasn't going to be me, by the way, because I had a lot of reservations about that group. But they wanted you to sit there like a little statue, and you had to be perfectly quiet. They didn't have Sunday school for the kids. They didn't have any kid-centric activities. Oh, they gave you a book like that was geared towards kids Bible study book, and you could read that while the adults had the sermon, and you just had to sit there like a good little. And then one time my mom said I said too many words, so like she said I could play with paper dolls, but I guess some of the ladies in the congregation were kind of like staring at me and leering at me. And I just remember that you couldn't do birthdays, you couldn't do Christmas. And then, yeah, I'm not a big fan of organized religion. I just like people who approach things from a more introverted perspective. And like my friend, she has a completely different idea about spirituality than I. But like, she's my best friend. She's a friend from college, and we agree on so many different things, and every time I talk to her I feel renewed and refreshed, and she's just so loyal like that. I don't trust a lot of people in this world. Like, I don't. Like, my trust for people is very low. Like, I just don't trust people in general, but I trust her, and I like it when you can trust somebody. Well, that's kind of hard, right? Being forced to go to a boarding school. I get it. That's hard. But yeah, anyway, I just feel like I'm not a big fan of like groups where you have to do something to conform with a group. I get it, because back then it wasn't just English people, because I'm thinking maybe you were English. Or was this in India? I don't know. Maybe this was in India. But here in the US, same thing. There was a lot of, 3 of my grandparents were English speaking. My 4th grandparent, this is the thing that makes me interesting. I have an immigrant grandparent. My dad's dad, he was Syrian. So he spoke Arabic when he was little. And yeah, he had a lot of discrimination. I thought you said Indian, like from India. I wasn't sure because you said, oh, Indian boarding school. Okay. I thought you were talking about like in India, because some Indian people from India, the country, they actually do go to boarding school in the UK. So I wasn't sure what you, but I get what you're saying. That's horrible. That's worse, actually. I think the boarding schools for Native Americans here in the US, there's been a whole, oh wow, with everything going on in the news right now, and all the xenophobia, people talking about wanting to take their country back, like it belonged to the Native Americans first. Isn't this kind of cringe? I don't know. It feels so cringe, like things that people are saying. I'm like, is it like 1853 again? And the Know Nothing Party, which was a horribly xenophobic movement in the US. Like, it's really scary. But yeah, no, Native Americans were done wrong. They were done dirty. And it was their land originally. It wasn't all the settlers' land, people that are descendants of, because most people here in the US, they don't really have, like, you might have Native American ancestry, but most people don't have that. So yeah. Thunderheart, I haven't seen it. But I've read, things about history. Is it good? Do you like it? Or is it about like a similar experience to your aunt's? But anyway, yeah, there's a lot of assimilation in the US. Like my grandpa, like I was talking about, he wasn't Native American, but he was born in Terre Haute, Indiana, but he spoke Arabic when he went to kindergarten. And he was walking home from school with his friend, and they were speaking in Arabic, and the kids started throwing rocks at them. And he said that was how he realized he was different than the other kids. Like he knew, I mean, of course he knew he was different, but he knew like in first grade, oh, I don't speak the language, I need to learn the language. So kids throwing rocks at him was how he realized he had to be. Smoke Signals, I've heard of that movie. I haven't watched it. But it's a real horrible history of assimilation, especially I think Native American people experienced it the worst out of everybody. Like honestly, it's really bad stuff. So like when you look at what's happening right now, I'm not gonna say because everybody's like, oh, they really love this new president, but like he wants to break our constitution, okay? And he wants to overturn the 14th Amendment. No, these things aren't okay in my mind, my view, but I'm trying not to be political because people have very strong opinions about this. Oh, he taught you some words? That's cool. I mean, very cool. But yeah, history is the most interesting thing. History, it's good to study history. I agree. I just don't think we're entering some golden age like everybody thinks right now. Because the things I've been hearing in the news the last couple of days, I agree sometimes it is. Well, I mean, are you saying that you think there's zany things happening in the news? Because I do. I think, well, let me put it this way. It's not okay for a president to make their whole platform about a non-issues, things that aren't real. Like I don't know why the American people fell for it. They fell for it too. You know. Mining. The thing about California, I know people are like you can mine, but if you know what you're looking for, I guess, because I knew people like my dad had friends and they went out there and they tried to pan for gold. And yeah, sometimes you find stuff. I think it's more just for fun. I don't think you're gonna. But see, the thing is, I think we're doing good. I think we were doing good. I know I'm not saying that the last president was the best, but I think we were doing pretty good and things are about to get Things are about to get bumpy wumpy bad. And not in a good kind of way. Like it's about to get bumpy wumpy bad. I'm just saying, like, and this wasn't even me like loving, like I could say all night long there were problems with both sides. This isn't even me saying, oh, I love Kamala Harris, which I didn't. But I think this option that we have right now, when you make jokes about people who die in a plane crash, that's not cool. It's not cool, saying, oh, I can't swim, Yeah, it's very cringe to me. And you can say whatever you want to say, but Obama was so classy, and I miss that response. I miss a classy, articulate response to a tragedy. Like, why would you make flip? I don't think being like off the cuff just mean is cool. But some people think like, oh, it's so much better now because we're going to have this precedent that goes after all these non-issues, but there's a lot of real issues that are not going to be addressed. And this, but whatever. I don't think politicians can really fix these issues, to be honest. I feel like communities need to fix the issues anyway, like housing, like finding housing for all people. Like, that's a real issue in my mind, not. No, I like Obama. I'm not trashing him. I'm saying I thought he was really articulate. I liked what he had to say today about a tragedy. It's the people who support the new one that I find problematic, A lot of people really love him. But that's okay. I'm just going to sit back and wait. And I'm not even that invested because, once again, it's a very, very social thing. I have my own take on this. My very own take. That's not like most people. Like, most people are very, very partisan. Like, they have this, like, oh no, it's the end of the world. I don't think it's the end of the world. I don't think so. But I do think we know what we got last time. He's brash, okay? And I think there's certain things economically, like, for instance, the whole egg thing. You know, the price of eggs are going up because of the avian flu. Like, people didn't read that. And then, now people are going into grocery stores and they're harassing grocery store workers, asking the grocery store workers why they're making the eggs so expensive. A lot of it has to do with the law of supply and demand, okay? But also, too, it's a little bit of corporate greed. Like, some of the prices going up, but the whole egg situation, it had to do with the avian flu, Yeah, I get what you're saying. No, that wasn't fair to Obama. But, let's remember this. Do we remember how Trump accused Obama of not being born in the U.S.? That bothered me a lot. And at the time, people laughed it off and they said, oh, it's no small thing. No, it's a big thing. You don't get to make jokes about somebody's birth status. And here's the thing. He demanded that Obama show his birth certificate. So he finally did. But Trump has never shown his tax returns. Why is it that Obama had to show all this stuff about himself, but Trump didn't? It's just kind of weird. But, I hate politics. I really do, because people will go along with whatever he says, even though he flip-flops like a floppy disk from 1985. And that's not a compliment, by the way. Floppy disk from 1985 is downright floppy. It doesn't have any integrity. Not in today's data-driven world. Like, it might be a relic of the past, but I think we're in for a bumpy ride. I'm just going to say Trump is not handling things well. I'm hoping things get better, but it's not looking good right now. And I don't feel like any confidence with him. Like, people that feel confidence in the things that he's saying and doing, I feel like you need a reality check. Of course he's racist. Yes. He's very racist. Of course he is. But he's going to tell you he's not. And then a lot of people are going to say, oh, but we voted for him. And we're not white. But, okay, that's fine. But do you remember, like, how, he did a Muslim travel ban. Well, it was a Middle Eastern travel ban. He doesn't like, and all the things, like, and that was during the time when Syria was experiencing all sorts of turmoil, and a lot of Syrians were looking for refuge, and they couldn't come to the U.S. because, travel ban. Unless, like, you're somebody special and you have connections, then I guess you get a pass. But, yeah, he's done a lot of really questionable stuff. Actually, I have faith in God. I have faith in myself. I have faith in introverted people who do good in their community. I don't have faith in politicians, not ones like him anyway. If you want to have faith in him, you do that. I just hope it doesn't get too bumpy. That's all I'm going to say. Oh, see? That's a good point. And he wants to cut it, too. He wants to cut programs that our taxpayer dollars pay for. He wants to cut programs that are going to help the American people. That's going to make prices skyrocket. But let's just see. Prediction. 5 months out, what is the price of everything? Let's just wait and see. And you know, to the people who say they hate politics and they don't want to be defined by it, good on you, because do not go up to bat for any politician, because they want you to do that. And if you look at his track record, he changes it every time. And look at all the people that were in his first administration, they're not with him anymore. That should tell you a lot. If he was the great, good president that he claims to be, they'd be with him. Like with Obama, Biden, I don't even think Biden was the best president. He was too old, okay? I think you really have to acknowledge he was too old, but Trump's too old to be president as well. He really is. I'm seeing some cognitive decline there. But Biden wanted to stay with Obama the whole 8 years. Why is it that Trump doesn't have the same VP? That's a good question. But you know, I'm getting on politics again. But if you don't have the same group of people like supporting you through your entire presidency, to me, that's a red flag. It's a red flag if you keep having to change. I mean, I know like FDR had different VPs, but in modern times, all the presidents that were 2 terms had the same VP. So what's up with that? And the same, like other people in their cabinet that stayed with them. It wasn't this flip-flop floppy disk time. So you should really just be more aware. Don't just accept it. And just because you think one side was propaganda, the other side can be too, you know? I'm just saying. Yeah, it's a mess, but we'll see. We'll see, because I'm telling you, the people that are praising it up and down the street, they will not be praising it come December. Just you wait and see. I mean, I hope things get better economically, but if you have somebody saying that they're going to cut all sorts of federal programming, funding, it's going to hurt people. It's going to make prices go up. Yeah, but you know, you just have to wait and see. Not to mention, as a president, do better. Have empathy for people. Empathy, like, it's a thing. But what do I care about these people that want to tell us that it's great? I don't think it's great. Elon Musk should not be in a government position. That's a conflict of interest, you know? Well, hopefully that works. We'll see. We'll have to look and see. So much to hang up. I watched a lot. Watched a lot. It was a big load. I might need to hang something in the shower area. I feel like it's gonna be too. Yeah, it's just my fun little hobby. I didn't mean to get you riled up. I'm sorry. Just forget about it. I'm so sorry if I upset you about. I've been trying to not think about the whole political thing because, like I said, I wasn't like a mega fan of Kamala Harris. I didn't think like, oh, Biden, you know, Biden was like the best president because I thought he was too old. Like, I think the Democrats should have put up somebody that was the best. I wish we could have actually had a primary for the Democrats. Then maybe we could have put somebody up there that would have had better ideas, you know? That's all. Yeah, politics is everywhere. This is true. I love to paint though. But like I said, I need to get back into it. I was painting the other day. You can see some of the lives I did. I need to get a new medium for my acrylic paint though. Because I want to make, I just want to make the skin tone blend better. Plus, I feel like it didn't really, because I was trying to paint a self portrait and what I mixed the other day, I don't think it looked exactly like my skin tone because I was showing it to my mom. She's like, oh, that doesn't look exactly right. And I'm like, yes, I need to remix it. So, like, it just doesn't exactly look like me, and it's supposed to be a self portrait. I mean, it could just be a fun painting, I guess, but I want to try and make it a little bit more accurate. So, I'm probably going to remix it, and I need to get the medium to make the paint flow better, you know, to be more like oil paint. I want the acrylic paint to blend and to not dry as quickly. I love the look of oil paint, to be honest, but I have all these acrylic paints that I bought over the years because I thought, oh, I should try acrylics. And I do like acrylics, don't get. Oh, that's fun. Well, if you enjoy it, that's a good thing, right? Is that like diamond? Oh, it's like dot painting. It's similar to diamond painting where you use the little beads. Yeah, acrylic is cool. It's just it dries fast and I like the look of oil a little bit more. I like acrylics not what I like about acrylic is it's not as smelly. Now oil paint. The thing I really didn't love about oil paint is you have to use like different thinners like and I stopped using turpentine by the way. Like supposedly you're supposed to use turpentine when you oil paint, but like this guy right here, I just used oil and I thinned it out with oil. And I know technically that's not a correct technique. Like this is just me being a hobbyist. But I did my Irina the cat running into the woods. It's based on a photograph I took actually, 2 different photographs. But I used oil to thin down the oil paint. Because I'm not gonna use turpentine. I hate the way that smells. It just does not smell good to me. Some people are like, oh, I love it. I'm like, no, I don't love it. This is supposed to be like a fireplace, but it doesn't look real. It looks real, sort of. Like it has a cool look to it, but when you look at it closely, there's like this little wheel in there, and it just rolls around. It's kind of fun. Yeah, it's a little electric one. It's not real. It's pretend. But I had not been running my heater for the longest time. I didn't want to turn on the heat at all. I was trying to save money, but then I woke up this morning and people are going to laugh. They live outside of California. They're going to be like, that's nothing. It was 37 degrees outside, and I think it's only like 10 degrees warmer in here if I'm not running the heat. It probably was about 47 degrees, and I woke up and I was just so cold this morning. So yeah, I ended up turning on the heater, this little heater, because I have a wall unit, but I don't like it because every time I turn that thing on, it smells like an iron. And I'm thinking about calling the new maintenance guy because the old maintenance people, they just never could figure it out. Like they would try and bring filters for central heating, and they came with these big filters one day, and I'm like, wait a minute, I have a wall unit. It has rinsable filters. They're like, oh, we were gonna install this. I'm like, I don't have central heating. They're like, whoopsie. So I just would rinse out the filters, but even when I did that, my wall unit, the air conditioning's okay, but the heater, not so much. I'm gonna hang these in the back. Ah. San Diego can be. If you like the ocean, I think La Jolla. I've visited La Jolla. I didn't live there, but La Jolla is really, really nice. And they have, like, if you don't want to drive, they actually have like really amazing public transport, and it's beautiful. It's really beautiful there. I'm not really wanting to live down there just because my family's up here in the San Bernardino Valley area, so I stay in the San Bernardino Valley area myself. But yeah, San Diego's a really beautiful place. I don't live in San Diego. I live 100 miles north of San Diego. I live in the San Bernardino Valley, so I'm inland. So I don't even live near the ocean. I haven't even been to the ocean. I don't even know how I have an excuse since 2017. Like you would think I live 100 miles, no, just 60 miles inland from the ocean. You would think I'd go to the ocean more, but I don't. I should. I really should. But yeah, it's really beautiful to visit San Diego. A lot of people love living there. I like where I'm living. I actually love I love the San Bernardino Mountains, San Bernardino Valley area. My favorite area in California because I live here. But if money were no object and I could buy a house anywhere in the Inland Empire, I think I would buy a house and like if I had the money to do it, Rancho Cucamonga. Rancho Cucamonga is a really nice little city. I love Rancho. I do a lot. And I love being near the mountains because I grew up in the mountains and I live, yeah, so that's what I'm used to, you know. Not really. We're not even close to Nevada. We're halfway. So it's the halfway point between Los Angeles and the border of Arizona. And then it's another, like, I would say maybe 40 miles from border to Las Vegas. So we're closer to LA than we are to the border of Nevada. It's about halfway, almost halfway. Barstow's halfway, I think. I'd have to look again. I think Barstow's like actual halfway. And Barstow's about 50 miles east of us. But San Diego's nice. If you want to live there, you should, I don't know, visit, see if you like it. Okay, I had a funny memory of like when I did visit La Jolla because it was just something we were doing for work, me and this other lady. Like we were at this conference and she was gonna go visit her sister that night. And I don't drive, so I always like take the bus. I was just gonna take the bus back, but she goes, "Oh no, you can take like the shuttle, like because the hotel had this shuttle that would like pick you up from pretty much anywhere in the city." So I was spending time at the La Jolla Mall, and I decided to buy a pair of flip flops because I was wearing these shoes that were just kind of uncomfortable. And then I realized, oh my gosh, they're like zip tied together, and I'm like, oh my gosh, the sandals are zip tied together, and this guy came out of nowhere. And I'll remember this to this day. I mean, I guess it was really nice of him. He's like, I have a lighter and I can burn the zip tie. And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I took him up on his offer because I wanted to wear my flip flops. And and not a zip tie, but you know, those really tight plastic things that you need like scissors to cut them open. But I didn't have a pair of scissors with me. So he burned the little plastic thing that was holding the flip flops apart for me. And I said, oh, thanks. It was just very random. It was nice of him though. But that's one memory I have of the mall in La Jolla. I think it's the La Jolla Mall. But it was a cute little mall. And then the ocean's really nice. We went to a restaurant on the beach. I remember that. It's just a very nice area. It really is. So, yeah, San Diego. I understand why people live there. It is very nice. It's very enjoyable. Well, I don't swim either. Like, you can go to the beach and just look at the ocean. Like, a lot of people just love to ride bikes near the ocean. Like, I didn't get to do that. I would like to do that, actually. Like, rent bikes near the ocean. You can go riding bikes. There's a lot of things you can do. I'm probably gonna, I'm going to I've just been trying to get myself up to this, and I'm gonna make videos about it, guys. You know my train videos that you love? Do you know my train videos? Guess what? I'm gonna ride the train to the ocean. Maybe Oceanside. Yeah, and I will soon. I know that I've just been saying that, and I'll make a little train video about it. That sounds fun. I would love to do that with you. If you're ever out here, we should do it. That sounds fun. I would love to ride bikes at the ocean and eat tacos. That sounds so enjoyable. You sound cool. I like you. You sound like a nice person. You sound like a cool person. I wish there were just. I like people that think like that. You have good thoughts. Thank you. I have to put some of this stuff in the shower because I'm running out of space. I'm telling you, I should have done laundry the other day. I mean, I do laundry a lot, but I just skipped a few days. I love the train. I love to see the train go by. I finally rode the train on Halloween. And I made that video about it. But I mean, I've ridden the train before. I rode the big Metrolink train. But we have a small Aero train, which I film like all the time because I love the Aero train. Like, I'm just enamored with our local San Bernardino Redlands Aero train route. I'm just enamored with it. I love seeing it go by. It's so cute. But yeah, I've rode the big Metrolink too. Actually, the big Metrolink does come all the way up here. Still not done yet. I pushed it back. It's like a full load. I've heard people say they really love Santa Fe. It's supposed to be really beautiful. Like, I've just heard. I went there when I was really little. I was like 3, so I don't really remember much about it. I remember visiting the Grand Canyon, like we did a road trip, but I was so young. My mom actually took a picture of me in front of the Red Rocks on that trip. So I should travel more. I just don't really. I don't have a good excuse. I just don't. That's very cool. So what's the difference between Albuquerque and Santa Fe? I guess I'll have to look it up. I'm guessing maybe it's the city vibe. SeaWorld, I've driven past there, but I never went. We went to Knott's Berry Farm and they had like some sort of show with dolphins. I think that's the closest. We drove past SeaWorld, but people go to SeaWorld all the time. I knew a guy that I kind of dated for a while. He was really into SeaWorld. He went there all the time. But yeah, I mean, drove past it. I just have never been to it. Okay, I finally finished hanging everything up. That took a long time. So it's time to close it up. This is what I like about having a little rack thing. You can just kind of close it up. And I can just dry behind the rack. It's so nice and fun if you want to hang laundry to dry. I didn't even know that they had a SeaWorld in Texas. That's so interesting. See, I learn something new all the time. Thanks for watching, guys.